Awesomeness. How's my handsome smell? Good. All right, bet.
I just lift your hand when you want to go. Welcome back to another GG33 podcast. And today we're going to do something different because, that's what we do here. We do things from sometimes we talk to President Obama's brother. Sometimes we talk to people who are influencers. Sometimes we talk to people who are flat out whores. Today, we're going to do something different. How do you like that intro, brother? Today, we're going to do something different. Today, we're going to talk to a man who investigates frauds. So I take it you're not a fan of the Biden administration?
Not at all. I'm not.
All right, brother. Why don't we start off by, what is your name, sir?
So, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Daraine Delevante. I'm your favorite consumer law expert. I teach people how to repair, rebuild, restore their own credit using consumer laws, and I teach them how to start their own credit repair business and how to scale it using my 4 key principles: lead generation, lead conversion, client ascension, and continuity.
You had that ready to go, brother.
I'm always ready to go.
So you've been doing this for a while because that routine right there, that takes some practice, man. So you've been doing this for a while. So how long have you been into this?
Going 3 years now. Three going 4. Yeah, 3 years.
And what made you get in this field? Is this something you feel passionate about, or did you see a hole in the marketplace and thought, man, I could fill it?
So it started out as me fixing my own problem, because a lot of people talk about a lot of stuff and they don't become the solution to the problem and just talk about it and hoping somebody else fix it. Well, I had bad credit. I got denied for everything. Everybody told me no, and no. Like, no, bro. And I keep getting denied after denial after denial. Couldn't get a car. Had to get a co-signer. And it was a used car too. And that's what hurt my feelings. It was a used Nissan Altima, 75,000 miles. I couldn't even get that. I needed a co-signer. I couldn't get an apartment. Dude, I wanted to bring chicks home. I had to bring chicks home to a room. Right? So I couldn't.
That doesn't work too well, does it?
It does not. It does not. And I'm out in these streets and, I'm a grown man and I can't get approved for nothing. And it was at that point where I decided to become responsible and accountable for my own action. It's my fault I wasn't educated on credit.
Whoa. We're going to hit a rewind. Women, pay attention to what he just said. Go and say that one more time.
Accountability.
Woo! Go ahead, brother.
So I had to own my own truth, right? I had to admit the fact to me that I had bad credit and I alone had the means to go and fix it. Now, I could have paid somebody to fix it just like everybody else, but then I'd be giving somebody a fish. Or in my case, somebody would be giving me a fish, meaning that they'd fix my credit, but I don't know what to do if I'm ever in the situation again.
Is that what you do to other people now?
No, I teach people how to fish.
You teach
I
people
don't
how to
give
fish.
people fishes.
Okay.
I do not believe in giving people fishes.
So you don't believe in charity?
Huh?
You don't believe in charity?
Charity for a good cause. But it's also a tax write-off, so I get the best of both.
You know a lot about a personality because when someone says something like that, they're thinking a certain way. I've had many guests on the podcast, but I never had a guest to say, yo, are these people sponsoring you? Oh, they're not? Take the label off.
Yeah.
No free rent.
No.
So you're a capitalist, brother.
Bruh, the new me was birthed by Robert Kiyosaki, Donald Trump.
A 33 life path and a 4 life path, Donald Trump.
So this new me got created from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It got created from Why We Want You to Be Rich with Robert and Donald.
So the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the 33 life path, would you say he is the guy who had the most influence on you?
He is my genesis, correct.
Another 33 life path doing their thing, brother. Shout out to the
and
man
I'm 33,
himself.
so
Well,
I'm saying
and
the
you just
numbers
met me
don't
today,
lie.
right?
Yep.
There you go, brother.
Like, it's all aligned. So, like, the excuses, dude, I wasn't even born here. Let's get that straight. I'm not from here. I've been in this country only 13 years.
But wait
I am 13 years old
wait
to
a
this
second.
country.
Hasn't the white man held you back?
No,
What are you talking about? What about the systemic racism in America?
That's bullshit. Yeah, people are racist, but if you're gonna use the crutch of somebody else holding you back, then you'll forever be at their mercy. I wasn't even born in this country. There's people that's been living here longer than I have.
Are you a millionaire?
I am.
Okay, so you are a millionaire, 13 years immigrant from Jamaica?
Correct.
So within 13 years, you came to this country and you became a millionaire. Hold on, let me this isn't painted on here. So you became a millionaire as a black man.
Oh, they thought I'm painted. Yeah, I'm really black.
I'm just making sure because the audience is going to say that you're CGI. They're going to say this is all bullshit.
Okay.
So within 13 years, you fucking made it, but the fucking people in this country who are brainwashed by watching CNN and all this other fucking garbage, they will have you think that they're being oppressed. My brother, are you oppressed?
13 is too long. See, I've been here 13 years, but for the first 10, I was programmed. So I really became a millionaire in 3 years of being and becoming a new person. That's a different story. 13 years living here, 10 years in the system. I was in the 40-40 club. I was drinking the Kool-Aid 40 hours a week, 40 years, 40%. I drank the Kool-Aid. I drank all of it. But what the switch for me was, and I still don't know how you knew this, and we've never met until today, when 2019, 2020, when everything changed, that was my changing year before COVID. A lot of people happened after COVID.
And I called that as soon as I saw you.
Yeah, you did.
And I gave you like a 2-minute reading, and what did you ask me?
Yeah, I thought our guy Bonnie gave you like my script or some research on me or some shit.
I never met you before.
No, it was my first time seeing you.
See, this is how people understand that. People can call me a fraud. People can say whatever they want. But this is the reaction.
If you don't got haters, you ain't doing nothing
I got
right,
you. But
bro.
to the haters and to the people who say I can't do this, put your money where your mouth is, man. 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million, whatever you want to do, we can do. We'll go on the streets. I'll be blindfolded. Random people will come up to me. I'll read them like a fucking book. And then you can tell me I'm fucking doing something else other than numerology. I don't know what you can do at that point if you're fucking blindfolded. How they can even call it a code reader.
But have them step up to the plate.
Well, no. But that's the thing. They're cowards.
There's a lot of cowards. Well,
shut up. It is what it is, man. You know, when you're Michael Jordan of your industry, everyone's going to come at you. And from what I understand, brother, you have been fucking on a fucking tear for the last 3 years. You're like absolutely dominating.
And it's crazy, you know, like. The more you go up, the more you want to see people bring you back down. And you see, when you give them that type of energy, they feel some form of significance. And I get this on a day-to-day basis, whether it's fake pages or people saying I'm teaching fraud on the internet. I'm like, okay, well, if I'm teaching fraud, that means Congress wrote fraud in their laws, because what I see is what's written. And if you see something else and you read something else, like the fact that a creditor can't treat a payment as late, when I speak about late payment, and when I tell people I get late payments deleted in 4 hours, they look at me like I'm an idiot. I'm like, no, you're stupid for not knowing this. But again, it's not their fault.
Okay. Let's go back a second. You said delete a late payment within 4 hours.
Yes, I've gotten late payments deleted in 4 hours.
I understand you're selling a course, so is there something that you can talk about that has evidence toward this?
Most definitely.
Without giving away your course?
Well, definitely. So it won't speak to the time frame because the time frame is subjected to each creditor.
But why did you say 4 hours?
But what I can tell you, because that's the average we've been getting.
Okay.
The students in my program.
That makes sense.
That's the time. That's the
makes complete sense.
Shortest time we've gotten. Okay. The law is there for everybody to read. 15 USC 1666B.
Woo! He came out with the dashes on him. He came out with the dashes right on him. And what does that say?
You know what? Let me not paraphrase anything. I like proof. So everybody that's listening to this episode now, pull your smartphones up, because I know each and every one of you got it. Go to 15 USC 1666B. So we're going to go into Google. We're going to type in 15 USC 1666B. timing of payments. And when you go to timing of payments, it's going to read this. And so you know, this is not my note. This is law. It's right there. You can read it for yourself. Go test it out. This is law. Everybody right now should be looking at timing of payments.
Okay, explain this in layman's terms.
All right, so let's talk about the first part, right? A creditor may not treat a payment on a credit card account under an open-end consumer credit plan as late for any purpose. For any purpose, they cannot treat it as late unless the creditor has adopted reasonable procedures designed to ensure that each periodic statement, including the information required by Section 1637B of this title, is mailed or delivered to the consumer not later than 21 days before the payment due date.
Explain in layman's terms.
Now, what Congress is saying is this: the only way for a creditor to treat a payment as late, they must do something. The first thing is they must have reasonable procedures that's designed to mail out information that is required under 1637B. There's 12 sections of information under 1637B that must be disclosed and sent to the consumer, right? And this must be mailed or delivered to the consumer within 21 days, not more. Within 21 days, it says no later than 21 days before the payment due date. So 21 days before the payment due date, all of this information, 21 days or less, all of this information must get to the consumer. It must be mailed or delivered.
Okay.
It must have the information from 1666B and from 1637B, right?
Okay.
So now, how can they prove that it was delivered? See, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
Tell them, brother, preach.
And if they're going to put a payment or a transaction as late on someone's consumer report, it also means that they must have evidence that this was mailed out or delivered within that 21-day period before the payment due date.
Brother spitting game here. So because they can't prove that you got that information, there cannot be
Where
a late
is the late payment?
How many times does this work? What is your percentage of victory?
So right now, I can only speak about right now. Right now in my university, all the students that run this game, that run this play, that use this section of the law, we've had a 98% success rate. And the ones that gave pushback, when they called a second time, they got the late payments deleted. So
it's 100%.
There is no rebuttal. There is no rebuttal to this.
How many procedures are you talking about? 10?
This is just one.
1,000?
No,
you said your students and all this. How many times have you actually done this?
This has been done 15 times.
50 times?
15. So I just put this part together about a week ago.
Okay.
Right? And we have a challenge coming up where this play now is going to be run by hundreds of students. There is no rebutting this. 15 USC 1681 EB. A consumer reporting agency must adopt reasonable procedures to ensure that the consumer report has maximum possible accuracy. How can they furnish a late payment without this information? It cannot be furnished. And if it did, it was done fraudulently.
What if they send it with certified mail? Would that defeat this?
They need to prove it.
They have to prove
they sent it. They have to prove that they sent it. It's not just the sending it that's the problem. It must be done 21 days or less before the payment due date. These are all the stipulations that must be met.
Again, so if these guys don't even send it out, they're fucking up themselves, but no one knows this stuff. So basically, you found a hole in the system and you're exploiting it, correct?
It's not even a hole.
I mean, what would you call it?
It's a hole if you don't know it's there. It is a law, and this was here before I got off the plane.
It's a hole in the system, and you just happen to find it.
Well, true. We can put it that way.
I don't see
but who made the hole?
Well, they made it. I'm not sure if they made it on purpose or if they made it as a way to use companies to fucking get rid of debt or something like that. Let me ask you something. You actually study this stuff. In your opinion, was this done on purpose or is this someone fucking up?
I like your questions. Wells Fargo, $3.7 billion lawsuit, right? For illegal foreclosure, illegal repossession, purposely applying mispayments to consumers' accounts, fraudulently opening up credit accounts. Now, what comes with a late payment? Well, in the terms and condition, if you are late, what goes up? The interest rate. If you are late for any reason, your interest rate goes up. So on a credit card, for example, if your interest rate is at, let's say 15%, right? If you are late, it jumps to 36%. Not to mention there's a what? A late payment fee.
They're going fishing.
So now the report from the CFPB said over 16 million people were affected.
What is the CFPB?
The CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Okay. It's a government agency with the FTC. That's, yeah, the Overwatch guys. Right? And on their website, on their blog, over 16 million people were affected. Now, see, I like numbers. And we're just going to see how much they made off of just a late payment is what? $25, right? So 25 multiplied by 16 million. That's how much they made off of this late payment.
400 mil, huh?
Yeah. But guess what? They also did. They opened up new account and they also did NSF, non-sufficient funds. So if they applied the late payment and they have non-sufficient funds, that's another $30. So let's add these two. So 25 plus 35, just for easy 60. Numbers, 60, right? Multiplied by 16 million people that got affected.
We got a Billy. So obviously this is all being done on purpose. Wells Fargo, founded in the year of the rat. So, you know, when it comes down to it, you can expect that from Wells Fargo. Shout out to Wells Fargo.
Bank of America got hit with the same thing, 200 million.
Bank of America, of the biggest banks in America, is the most toxic one out of every single one of them, man. Chase, which is owned by the Rothschilds, which took it away from the Rockefellers after Chase and Manhattan merged, is the most powerful bank in America. When it comes to everything else, I think it's going to end with Chase. Like it always looks like the big fish is going to eat the little fish.
A lot of people don't know the history.
If you're smart, though, you're putting money in credit unions, right?
They don't know the history. You want to put it in assets because money by itself now is garbage. It's a piece of paper. It has no value because what you are saving, inflation is eroding your dollars.
What about cash is king? If there's
cash is garbage.
Hold on. But when it came down to certain times in American history and in world history, when, you know, for instance, 2008 when the recession happened, if you had cash, you were buying everything for pennies on the dollar. So, you know, while cash might be fucking garbage right now under the Biden administration because inflation's going up, or under Jimmy Carter, under certain places and certain times like 2008, 2009, if you had cash and you're buying the bottom, that's how millionaires became billionaires. So it's not true all the time that, you know, like, cash is garbage. I understand what you're trying to say, though. I do believe that people should keep some cash in reserves, and the reason
I agree with you.
The reason that is because one day there's going to be a bank holiday, and they're gonna shut off your fucking ATMs,
that part,
and you're not gonna fucking be able to buy anything, and that's going to be a very interesting time, to say the least. And that's going to happen because you have to understand, Bretton Woods happened in 1944, and, you know, since then the U.S. dollar has been the world reserve currency. You know, right now the only thing that's keeping the dollar as the world reserve currency is because of its ability to buy oil with the petrodollar system. Obviously, you're educated, man. You know what the petrodollar system is, but most of these idiots don't. I remember about 15 years ago, I had to go on radio stations as a 20-year-old and educate people on the most powerful radio station in Ohio what the petrodollar was. They didn't understand what kept the American dollar afloat. So, you know, just a quick little history lesson. The Federal Reserve prints money illegally because they took John F. Kennedy out to that's what they did. They took Kennedy out. So, and as soon as Kennedy out, they basically repealed Executive Order 11110. That was Lyndon Johnson's first act as president to give the printing press back to the Fed.
Well,
and you know what the Fed is.
Since we're going to go there.
We're definitely going to go there.
Since we're going to go there, people don't even know the Federal Reserve is not even a bank. People think it's a bank. It's not a bank. It's a group of private cartels, banking cartels that has this country by the cojones. And it's so sleazy how this creature came into being that it got shut down so many times. Even Washington said it. They did not want any Federal Reserve or central bank in America. It got shut down so many times.
The first Central Bank of America got shut down. The second one got shut down. No, there's mainly two of them. And then they finally got their fucking Fed after they sunk the Titanic. Straight to the Federal Reserve, and then after the Federal Reserve in 1913,
there's only a few people I can talk to about this. Golly, you're getting me excited.
Talk, brother, talk.
So now we're talking about the creature that came out from Jekyll Island, right? We're talking about the Titanic and what the Titanic sunk, and then we're talking about Woodrow Wilson and how he really made. Like without this dude, the Federal Reserve wouldn't be here. Like he was one of those. Intricate players, so to speak, because they waited until Christmas, until everybody left to sneak in a bill that's sleazy. I'm going to just keep my word.
No. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Right?
Let me just put it this way. There's one piece of the puzzle you don't know. Woodrow Wilson was born on the 28th. 28 is the number of wealth. Elon Musk is born on the 28th. Bill Gates is born on the 28th. Vanguard, you know what Vanguard is? Yes, I do. They were founded 5-1, the same day as Illuminati was founded 5-1, 1975 adds up to 28. 5-1-1975 is 28. So Woodrow Wilson was born on the 28th.
Okay.
He was the president and he signed the Federal Reserve Act into law. So they made sure a guy who was the number of wealth signed that bill. That's the missing piece that most people don't get.
Interesting.
So it's always something with these people because everyone sometimes understands their moves from a financial level or from a strategic level or from a propaganda level. Very few understand they're from an occult level. And that's exactly what they did. Yeah, these people are very smart, and I have no idea how you schmucks out there think you're going to overthrow these people when you don't even know basic numerology and astrology. That's fucking asinine. That's absolutely fucking asinine. You fucking people are a bunch of clowns. Do you know who Muammar Gaddafi is?
Yes.
Muammar Gaddafi was an 11 life path like you. Really? He had that. He had, a charisma, presence. He ruled Libya from 1969 until 2011. Took power in the rooster year, 69. Lost in 2011, the cat year, enemy sign. The whole point of the story was this. Gaddafi had $500 billion, not $500,000, not $500 million, $500 billion. That buys you a lot of weapons. He had a modern army, 30,000 fucking trained soldiers. He had a fucking, he actually had an air force, tanks. He lasted 9 months against NATO. 9 months. My question to you is, what the hell are any of us supposed to do if Gaddafi, who had all that, lasted 9 months?
Well, let's explore the real reason why he died. Not what we were told, the real reason why.
Golden dinar.
You're correct. You're familiar with BRICS, right?
Of course.
All right. And he had a dream to unify all of Africa under one currency backed by your natural resources, right? Well, to a lot of countries, that right there is a major shift.
Especially France.
It's going to be a major shift in power. Because now we're talking about real resources that can't be printed on a machine.
Correct.
Like 100 million can't just be sent overseas.
Correct.
Like it had real tangible items, minerals, resources behind it. Right? So that's just one thing. And then we explore all the other things, right? We explore the educational system that we've so been indoctrinated in, right? Go to school, get a job. It's like a mantra. Go to school, get a job, get a house,
exactly what the fuck
get a dog. And you repeat this over 15
Unless you're born
to 25
in the dragon year,
years.
do not get a dog. I had to put that out there.
Right? Unless you break that, like, I'm gonna give you all the perfect example. I'm in the military, right? It's crazy how the military can take, it doesn't matter what walks of life you're from, and in 8 weeks of training you, everybody comes out the same way. It doesn't matter what you believed in before. It doesn't matter where you're from. All of us that came out, we acted the same way, we moved the same way, we thought the same way. And people think programming is not real. They think it's cuckoo story. They think it's conspiracy theory. These things are real. When we are at training, we're up every day. The Army colors. We will die for the flag. March this, left turn, right turn. Every single day we are reprogramming our mind. It got to a point where when we saw civilians, we were disgusted when we see people.
Why?
Because of how we were trained.
But you were a civilian.
I was. And then I went into the military and I looked at people. Everybody that comes out of basic training, everybody that comes out of training, they do not look at you the same. That is a fact. I have been there.
So you look at people, like, for instance, when I see someone who, quite frankly, isn't doing too well because of, his own fucking demons or something like that. When I see someone who's vaccinated, some bullshit like that.
That bullshit.
When I see stuff like that, I look down on people. So you're telling me when you were in the Army in basic training, if you saw a civilian, you look down on them?
It's not that we look down. It's just you're not to our standards.
What sort of standards?
I don't know how to explain it, but we came up with a different mindset.
Okay.
You don't look like us. You don't act like us. You're different.
And we don't like different.
Don't. The military likes a certain profile. You must fit the profile.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a free thinker, it is not the place for you. That's why I don't fit the profile anymore.
How long did you fit the profile?
I fit the profile for 10 years. Well, for 9 years.
For 9 years. What was the final straw that broke the camel's back? Talk to me about that.
You sure you want to go down that rabbit hole?
I want to go there, brother. I want to know what was the file. Because, as a psychologist, because I'm not only a numerologist, as a psychologist, I always like to know what the breaking point is.
All right. So, 2014. I'm in the National Guard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I went what is called active reserve. So you can be reserve like National Guard, but you can have active duty orders.
Okay, you're a young kid, 24 years old.
So I'm active duty, right? Active reserve. And from 2014 to 2021, been active duty, right?
Okay.
Doing everything that I was supposed to, training, passing my PT, getting good grades, going to all the schools, getting promoted. Everything that I was told to do, I was doing, right?
Correct.
So went on deployment, read 140 books. I started to question a lot of things, right? That's right after 2019 when I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, first book I ever read front to back, right?
So Rich Dad, Poor Dad, what is his name?
Robert Kiyosaki.
He's not only a 33 life path, he is born in 1947, the year of the pig. You read his book that you said changed your life. So as a 33, he did what he was supposed to. He influenced you and many other people. Mm-hmm. You found him in 2019, the year of the pig. So he's born in the pig year, and you found his work in the pig year because that's how his energy resonated best.
Interesting. And read that book. Got Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. Now, this is when I knew something was completely wrong.
Okay.
Nothing made sense anymore. And Robert and Napoleon Hill put it together. Mm-hmm. So now, 2020, I'm deployed, right? Reading every book. They laughed at me. Oh, Sergeant Delevante, you're always reading. Dude, I almost got in trouble for reading.
Oh, they don't like that.
Bruh.
Oh, no, don't read.
Bro, I was told I was going to get put on punishment for reading. It's not military material. Why are you reading this?
Oh, my God.
You know what I said? I looked at her. I looked at her and I said, right fucking now. And I said it. I didn't care what her rank was. I said, send me home with all my books. Because if you think I am going to stop reading, you're making a sad mistake. Dude, like, I was so invested in my education and myself. I didn't give a fuck what was going to happen. I didn't care. I believed in me so much. And everything that I knew for the last 10 years, I was willing to throw it away to bet on me. Because when I read, I started putting pieces together that I've been searching for all my life. Why was I broke? Because I had a broke mind. I had broke education. I was not fed the information that I needed to be successful. I was fed information to be a slave. I was fed information to be a slave to money, to debt. But then when I figured it out, when Robert says rule number one of the rich don't work for money, they have money work for them. And when Napoleon Hill told me that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, it put all my pieces together. And then,
so you started manifesting, brother.
Oh my God, my whole life changed.
But you had to believe in yourself to fucking make that manifestation.
I never had the belief.
But once you did, all of a sudden you flourished like a fucking flower. Correct? Caterpillar to fucking butterfly.
Everything changed in my whole life. And then sometimes you got to go through some stuff to get to your stuff. And in 2021 now, after the deployment, and I'm back, went back on active duty, right? This when COVID was a thing. And I got called into the office, right? And I got told that we have overspent on the COVID budget. That's what my first sergeant is telling me right now. I got a family, I got everything going. I'm used to the $6,000 a month.
What year is this?
2021.
Okay.
Right? And he said, we're going to have to let you go. We cannot pay you anymore on active duty. We overspent on the COVID budget. But then the next month, $100 million went to Ukraine.
Well, of course, they're going to send money to Ukraine. They can start a proxy war over there and test all their military equipment, like the Spanish Civil War. They fucking want to pin Putin down. So, of course, they're going to spend money on that. But on their own American troops, on their own people, they don't got any money for that, do they?
That was the straw. And it was right there. I knew that I was just a number. I was of no significance. So I needed to become significant for me. So what I had left in savings, $6,000, I invested it in a mentorship. I learned financial literacy. Him 500, Marcus Barney.
Who is this man?
So he's one of my first mentors after Robert and Napoleon Hill.
Have you met those guys in person?
Which one?
Both of them.
Well, I've met Marcus. Marcus is him 500. Robert Kiyosaki, not yet. Napoleon Hill died, unfortunately, before I could. So I just consumed.
Robert, you got a man out here who's basically, preaching what the hell you put out there. You changed this man's life. Holler at him. Go ahead, brother.
All right. Y'all get this video to Robert Kiyosaki, all right? All right. And then get it to my guy, Trump, too. Trump's my dude. Anyway. When that happened...
Hold on. Donald Trump's racist.
Says who?
You're a black man. How are you going to like Donald Trump?
What?
That's what the media tells me.
That's the media's problem. It ain't my problem.
So media lies. Fake news, right?
Trump makes me a lot of money and saves me a lot in taxes. So you got to pick your poison.
I see.
So people want to choose who they want to choose for their reason. I do you, boo. But I know, right, that this man became a billionaire. He wrote books. I haven't seen anybody. I haven't seen Biden wrote a book on how to become rich.
I don't think Biden can read.
That's his problem. Get me down that rabbit hole.
I mean, right? we have a pedophile in the office of the President of the United States. We literally have a fucking pedophile who sniffs people. I mean, literally, he goes around women, he sniffs their hair. Like, this guy's not fucking mentally there. This guy's, and then you understand why Barack Obama chose this fucking fool as his puppet. Because the Biden administration is Obama's third term. That's what it basically is, because he was running the deep state when Trump was in president. Listen, all I'm going to say is this, man. I have one good thing to say about Barack Obama. Well, actually two. I like your brother, Malik. He's a stand-up guy. Number two, Thank you for stopping Hillary Clinton, because I believe that she was way worse, man. Way worse, man. But
shit, Benghazi didn't happen by itself.
Of course, man, of course.
Saw 13 hours.
Damn. Of course. Yeah, I mean, if you listen to Obama administration, Fast and Furious didn't happen, Cylinder didn't happen, all that stuff didn't happen. But it is what it is. Listen, going back to you, my friend.
Yeah.
People are listening to you. Some probably think, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. Some people say, well, where'd Gary get this clown from? Whatever they want to believe. Give some people 2 useful tips right now that can help with their credit.
All right.
Help them. Give them 2 tools that can help them get around the system, for lack of a better term.
All right. So when we're talking about credit, it's not a quick fix. It's not we're gonna get around the system or loopholes. These are real laws. Like, we're talking real laws that are written by Congress. Real laws, and it's called consumer law for a reason. It's not law that attorney needs to interpret for you. It's laws meant for you. All you gotta go do, beloved, is read the stuff. See, 15 USC 1681A D2A1 speaks about transactions being excluded from the consumer report. Transactions, right? Well, where does a payment history come from? A payment history comes from transactions. Transactions are used to what? Do late payments. If transactions are excluded, your experience between the consumer and the person is excluded from the consumer report. Where does the transaction, where does the late payment come from? If my experience is also excluded, where does the utilization comes from? So these are things that people can use to get stuff deleted from their credit. The next thing is, people think there is a thing called credit bureau. Credit bureaus do not exist.
Okay,
there is no credit bureau.
Stop. I can go here on Google and say credit bureau, and a whole bunch of them are going to pop up.
A whole bunch of stuff is going to pop up, but are they really credit bureaus?
So there's no such thing as but I've learned from the government and from their media that, when you go to a car and they check with credit bureaus. That's what I've learned. That's what they've told me in history. Are you telling me that's all fucking garbage?
$1,000. I can prove to you right now that a credit bureau
I like when people do
does not exist.
Okay,
so
prove to me.
If I cannot,
prove to them.
If I cannot prove that a credit bureau exists, this is yours to do whatever you want to do with it. Right here.
Okay.
Right.
Well, that's not like really a lot of money to me, but it might be to some of these plebs out here. So again, I'm assuming this offer is good for them as well.
Yeah, let's get it. So
okay, so
15.
What USC, are the exact terms?
1681.
Because these people are fucking salivating right now because they don't know what it's like to be able to throw down $1,000 like that.
It's real $1,000. Y'all can get it.
That's sexy motherfucking Benji there.
We're going to the law,
okay,
right?
Talk to me.
15 USC 1681. Make sure y'all got y'all phones out, or your computer, or your tab, whatever you have. Make sure you have it out. This is law. Definitions. What does it say? Definitions, rules of construct, right? Definition. So now we're going to look at the word consumer report, right? Because that's what is pulled when your credit gets pulled. It says this: the term consumer report means any written, oral, or other communication of any information by a consumer reporting agency. Did it say credit bureau?
No, but that could be another name for it, no?
The only name they have is consumer reporting agency. See, the word credit bureau came from double language.
Okay, let me try this for a second. Credit bureaus. Okay, 3. This is what I've learned in the past. There's 3 credit bureaus. TransUnion, let's just take one of them. Are you telling me TransUnion is not a real company?
It's a real company. It's not a credit bureau. In credit, there is no credit bureau.
So what are they exactly?
Consumer reporting agencies. We need to identify and call them by their name.
So now tell me the difference between consumer reporting agencies and credit bureaus. What is the difference? Because
I cannot tell you what a credit bureau is because it doesn't exist. I can tell you what a consumer reporting agency is.
Tell me what they say a credit bureau is.
All right. The term consumer reporting agency means a consumer reporting agency described in 1681 AP. So we're going to go there. The law is telling us where to go, right? So we're going to go to P because P has a definition of what a consumer reporting agency is. F, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Where is P? Consumer reporting agencies, right? The term consumer reporting agency that compiles and maintains files on consumers on a nationwide basis means consumer reporting agency that regularly engages in the practice of assembling or evaluating and maintaining for the purpose of furnishing consumer reports to third parties bearing on a consumer's creditworthiness, credit standing, or credit capacity, each of the following regarding consumers residing nationwide. There is no credit bureau. The only bureau in credit is the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Okay, let me try this. What is a credit bureau? Data collecting agency that gathers accounts information from various creditors. So you're telling me
that's double language.
It's double language.
Let's break the word apart. We know how important credit is, right?
Correct.
Okay. What do we also know about the word bureau? When you hear bureau, what do you think?
Government, probably.
So if we want to misinform a population, what do? We give them misinformation.
You mean just like the Federal Reserve? You name it federal, but it has nothing
to do with federal.
It's about as federal as Federal Express.
Double language.
I gotcha. This makes sense. It sounds to me like you got inspired by some people. You found a flaw in one of the games, which is basically credit, and you found a way for you to be a good capitalist and help people at the right time, at the same time.
Solve people's problem
and make money.
People will solve your problem.
100%, brother. Let me ask you something. How long have you been doing this? How long have you had students? And how do people reach out to you to learn this? And how much is your product?
So, all right, very good questions. Been doing this 3 years now. Built an 800 credit score 3 times in 1 year. I wrote a book. I wish I'd brought it here that I could give it to you. Bonnie got one. And
you slipping, man.
I know. I didn't plan on meeting you today. The universe just put us together. It's just one of those things. On social media, I'm Daraine Delevante. DARAINE Delevante. That's it. Daraine Delevante. DARAINE.
Can I give you a tip?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I love to learn.
One of the things I like is when you see this GG33, I explained to you the GG, that those are my initials, and I'm a 33 life path. It's tattooed on me. But one of the other reasons, because everything is as above, so below, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have people up here with high IQs, you're going to have people down here with low IQs. And the low IQs, or the people out there who, really don't have much, maybe you could just be kind and call them, intellectually challenged. They need things that are short and simple. You understand? GG33 is short and simple.
But sometimes that's not how the universe works.
No. With some people it is, some people it isn't. I'm telling you right now, we're at such a dumbed down society that these people will be like, what that motherfucker say? Oh man, whatever. I'm telling you, but if it's simple, they'll go there. Trust me, brother. Just hyphenate it, do something, brother. It'll work. Remember, we live in a time where there's more enlightened people than any time in world history, man. But we also live in a time where there's more evolved people than any time in world history. The 50 genders, the hoes who think twerking is spiritual. all this garbage that's going on. Let me ask you something, brother. You grew up. Do you still remember America pre 9/11?
I wasn't here that time. I came in 2010.
That's right. Stupid question. We'll cut that part from the tape. Anyways, going back. When you came here to America, let's do the math, 2010, around there. What did you think of this country? And now that you're here for 13 years, do you believe this is the best country in human history?
So I wouldn't say best country. I'd say it is a land filled with opportunities, because you can literally come from nothing. Learn a thing here called credit. Like this credit stuff, like the reason why I get so upset with y'all Americans, y'all been in this damn picture for far too long. Y'all can't see the frame. There are people that will die to be here. The opportunities here.
Preach.
The opportunities here does not exist everywhere.
I tell people all the time, I would have never become a multi-millionaire if I wasn't born in America. My dad fucking got out of the Soviet Union and he fucking used to ride his bicycle in the fucking snow to go to a second job. He fucking never tasted prosperity. I never grew up rich, but I thank him every single day for the opportunity to fucking grow up, in my opinion, in the greatest country in world history. There's a lot of fucking negatives that come with it here, no doubt about it. But I will say this, man. Every single day, I thank my immigrant fucking parents for fucking coming over here, going through what they went through, so their kids had a better life. And the one thing I'm doing for my child, I'm making sure he had a better life than I did.
Absolutely.
Because that's how you pass it down. Do you agree with me?
100%.
Only a father wants their son to do better than they did. Only a father. Because when it comes down to women, bro, I have seen women who hate their daughters because they look better than them.
That's crazy.
But a father, you won't have that.
But the child is supposed to. It's natural. They're supposed to. Yeah. They're supposed to look better. They're supposed to be better. They're supposed to be more wealthier. That's you pass it down. Like a snowball didn't become a snowball. It started as a flake, and then it got rolled into a ball. And as the ball go down, as the generations go down, it gets bigger. That's wealth. That's information. That's family. My kids, I got one now. I need 5 more. Right? Woo! Oh, I ain't just creating all this wealth for one child.
Damn.
So wait, what happens if he fucks up, or if he decides to be an idiot? Then what?
The government you need to fall back.
I need backups. What you mean? Mm-hmm. I need me some backups.
So are you gonna be like Genghis Khan out here and just impregnated bros? I mean, I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
I'm gonna stop at 6.
Stop at 6.
But that's not a bad idea. If I can financially support 100.
Oh.
Now let's talk about financial stability.
That right there was key. See, this man basically said he wants a lot of kids, but he said something very key: financially support them.
Yeah.
Because if you can't financially support 6 kids, should you have fucking
no, why you should be running around making broke fucking babies? Like it makes no, like it's the struggle is real, and we're not gonna pretend like it's cool for a broke dude and a broke girl to go have a broke baby. No, that doesn't make no sense, bro. I'm gonna tell you this: I grew up poor, and a lot of you are gonna say, "Well, Daraine, you grew up poor and now you're a multi-millionaire." Yeah, the shit was hard. Like, why do we constantly got to put kids through this? How about before we start letting our essence in unfertile soil, right, to bear unfertile fruit? Like, before we get there, how about we step back and we say, yo, you know what? If I'm going to do some stuff, let me strap up, or let me get my pull-out game strong, right? And then let me go focus on building me. Let me get myself developed. Let me do some self-development, right? Let me learn how to become rich. Let me learn how to become financially stable, right? Let me have some standard in the garden that I'm about to water, right? So now she's good, I'm good.
You cooking, brother.
Right? So now we're gonna have prosperity babies. Like we should not be run. Like, if you are broke and busted and disgusted and you're stuck in a truck like if you're stuck like Chuck in a pickup truck, your thought process shouldn't be to go create babies. It should be, yo, I need to go get my money up. I need to go get my status up. I need to go get my level up. Because when you level up, you have choices. You can pick. I didn't climb in the 1% just to settle for anything. You must be out of your damn mind.
And what do you mean by settle?
Say again?
What do you mean by settle?
Because a lot of people are stuck with a lot of women that accept them because they had to settle, because that's all they could get. They did not have the ability to pick. They didn't have the ability to choose because they are not top tier.
You're talking straight red pill stuff now, brother.
They had to settle.
Straight red pill. So let me ask you
what
this,
does that
man.
mean? What does red pill mean?
Red pill is basically, talking about masculinity and stuff like that.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the Matrix.
No. Things have changed. So let me ask you this, man. Are men and women equal?
No, we're not.
Okay.
Wait, because the internet's going to take this shit and turn it sideways. Men and women are not equal. We were not created equally. We cannot be equal because we all have a different role to play.
What if people say you're sexist right now and people, one person, one vote, my body, my choice?
They can say whatever the fuck they want to say. It doesn't change the fact that it's true that men and women are not equal. A man can lift up. What's the world record right now? I don't even remember it. Men and women are not equal in physique. We're not equal in strength. A man cannot carry a child. We are not the same. A woman does. Life comes from a woman. Life comes from a womb. Men protect. Men provide. We have different roles to play, so we were built differently.
But now
we are not the same.
But now you have OnlyFans models who are, quite frankly, making $100,000 to $1 million a month. There is one OnlyFans model who's making $20 million a month. I think Black China or something like that. $20 million a month. Let me ask you something, brother. Men have built the streets. Men built the roads. Men have fucking died for the few rights that we have. Women were given rights. Men died for them. But what are you gonna tell a worker who's out there at 6 o'clock in the morning, making less than $100,000 and fixing the potholes, when there's some fucking whore that fucking goes out there, just fucking opens her legs, and these beta male simps give them $100 to $1 million a month? How is that fixable, my friend?
Well, it's not fixable, and it's not going to be fixable. See, sex sells whether we like it or not, and the sex industry is controlled by women. The same way sex in a relationship is controlled by women, because if they decide to lock them legs, you ain't getting in there. And if you do get in there, you're about to be in some silver bracelets, right? So we got to get some facts straight. So sex sells. It did back in the day. It will forever will. And now people got this instant access.
I see. So now
instant access.
Now that
so the
women have this, now that women have this, they don't need to pimp anymore. They can pimp themselves.
They do.
Gotcha.
There's a market for it, and it's $1 billion industry, and it doesn't make sense anymore. But well, I wouldn't say it makes sense, but guys, no, they don't, see, people don't have to go on dates anymore. Because remember, before, you had to go on dates, you had to take her out maybe 1 or 2 times, get to know her, take her to movies.
Oh,
they're skipping all of that right now.
They're already opening up the legs up
I'm going to just pay $5 a month. I'm going to see everything I need. I order some Fleshlight off light. I'm good to go. Communication.
That is so pathetic.
But it's true.
It doesn't
change. It doesn't change the fact that it's true.
So if you're out there paying money to OnlyFans women, and because of that, you're now actively out there looking for a wife. Let me get this straight: a low body count, unvaccinated, doesn't have whores as friends. Because let me tell you something: whenever women say, "Oh yeah, well, my friend's a whore and this and this and this and this, but I'm the good girl in the group. Exactly.
Birds of a feather.
Exactly. So when it comes down to it, if you find a good girl, that's what you're supposed to be looking for. But with these beta males in society, they would rather jerk off to a picture and then like go about their day. That doesn't even seem logical.
Well, you have to think about a few things too. So as illogical as it is, right? And I want to make sure that the internet don't take this shit and turn it sideways. This is no way. Well, I can speak for me, and I'm sure you can speak for yourself. This is no way us discriminating against women. I'm not discriminating against women.
Fuck these hoes.
Right?
Okay?
But it doesn't change a fact. It doesn't change a few facts.
Respect women, fuck hoes. Go ahead, brother. I just need to put that out there.
So it doesn't change a few facts. Women, especially Western women, how society has indoctrinated them. I'm a woman, hear me roar. And you have women coming out saying, oh, all the single ladies, and I can find another you in a minute. And the same people that's singing these songs, bro, you're not even fucking single. So you're telling people to go be a single lady and I can replace you in another minute, but you're married. Like, who are we really taking our advice from? Right? And I'm a powerful woman, hear me roar. I have no problem with my woman fucking roaring. Come on, get me my alpha female. I love alpha females. Like I am not running with nothing else. My women need to be they need to be like me. But you see,
they better be submissive to you.
Of course. But how society has it twisted is women think and believe that they can just come into a relationship, bring nothing to the table, then take everything when they go, and it is okay. They have normalized stealing. That's what had happened. What do you bring when the first thing, if you ask a woman what they bring to the table, they're gonna say me. What is that? Like what is me? What does that mean?
You know how you have inflation, you have something called hoflation. And the shit's going fucking through the roof, man. Through the fucking roof. You have women. You have women out here who have fucking 3 kids by fucking 2 different men talking about, yo, I need a man who makes $500,000 a year.
So that's what we're going to get into
bullshit.
Now, right? But then when you ask a woman, oh, what type of man you want? Well, he needs to be 6 feet. He needs to have a 6-pack. He needs to make over $500,000. Well, who the fuck are you thinking you can demand a 1%er? Right? But then when you ask a guy, you know, what type of woman he wants, she needs to be fit. She needs to be nice-bodied. Oh, you don't like fat girls? Why are you going to make it about fat girls now? It's so crazy how men gets put under a microscope for what we like, but then when women can say all the things that they want to say, live in a fairy tale. Like, let's be realistic. The scale must be balanced. If you can have all these criteria, 6 feet, nice, tall, dark and handsome, need to have a 6-pack, making 500,000 to $1 million, drives a Mercedes or a Lamborghini, lives in a penthouse. Well, y'all can have all these qualifications. Why can't we have our own? You don't dress provocatively. You are respectful. You know how to cook. You would believe that some of these girls these days can't cook. They don't even know how to cook. All they know is Uber and DoorDash.
Brother, fuck the cooking. They don't know how to clean anymore. They don't know how to do anything anymore. Only thing they know how to do is spread their fucking legs.
So we have to call a spade, right? And we have to hold people accountable.
Women don't like that.
Right? But women
don't like that.
In general,
they're
have an issue with accountability. Yeah. They get emotional. And when you talk about it, oh, why does it matter? It does matter. See, men are interested in a woman's past. Women are interested in a man's future. They want to know if we can provide, if we can protect, if we can keep the family together and make sure that the home is safe. See, us men, we want to know, what was your past like? How many bodies you got? What's your self-esteem like? Like, You want me to commit to what am I actually committing here? Am I committing to a goddamn water park? Am I being committed to Six Flags? Like what is it? Right? Like
Everyone gets a ride type of shit.
But these are the type of conversations we're not having. Like, what's your credit score? When do we talk about that? What's your finances like? Like when do we bring these things up?
Brother, before I I have a group about 3,000 members. Then I have a more private group with 1,500 members. I ask people to sign a non-disclosure, and they have to pass the interview before I even take their money. If it's a woman, one of the questions is, what's your body count? Because I don't trust a woman with a high body count. And the reason I don't is very simple. A woman absorbs energy. If she sleeps around with a whole bunch of guys, then she's going to be bipolar. You understand? When you sleep around with too many guys, that's what fucking happens. You become bipolar. If you know someone who's a whore, and believe me, there's plenty of them out there, especially in Western society, they're going to be bipolar. There's always an after effect. There's always a shock. Here's another thing. If a woman has a child with one man, and then she has a child with another man, that second child she had the second child with, he's not going to be as healthy. See, women who have kids by multiple men, usually they have birth defects or some kind of health issues because a woman is not supposed to have a child with more than one man. One man is supposed to dominate a fucking woman for the rest of her life. But when you have these whores going around here having fucking 5 kids by 4 different men, the kids suffer mental illness, physical illness, and people need to understand this is real. This is not a joke. Women's sexual liberation needs to be fucking stomped out, because if you believe in the devil, that's what the fuck it is. Every single problem in society comes from feminism. Now, as a numerologist, it's a little different. See, as a numerologist, I understand that one is male energy. Alpha starts with A. A is the first letter. First vowel in man is A. So when I look at that stuff, I understand that even women who are born in the first 10, 19, 1 to 9 is 10, reduces down to 1, 28. Even they have leadership abilities. Just like a man who's born in the second, who is feminine energy, might be a little bit more feminine. But you know what the beauty about numerology is? It backs the family unit. It's absolutely wonderful how that works. 1 is male energy, 2 is female energy. 1 plus 2 equals 3, which is childlike energy. Child starts with C, C is the third letter, and now we do it all together. Man plus woman plus 2 plus child equals 6, and 6 is the number of home and family. Family starts with F. F is the 6th letter. So numerology backs the family unit. That's how powerful these numbers are. So when anyone talks about all that other fucking 50 gender shit, understand they're going against God's language. This is what this is. This is basically a gift from God, the prime creator, the matrix, whatever you want to call it. That's what numerology is. And people always understand. You've made this point very clear. Women lie. Men lie. The fucking government definitely lies. Pfizer lies. The list goes on and on. Man. Your newspaper, CNN, all these fucking fake ass influencers in Miami, they all lie. How we doing, Patrick Bet David? But when it comes down to it, numbers never lie, my friend.
People need to be accountable, and they need to go do their own research, and they need to just stop taking things that they hear and run with it. You and you alone are responsible for what you consume. You can hear something, you can turn it off. You can hear something and it's a choice for you to listen. You can hear something and not go do the research. You can hear something and go do the research. Everything that you've done up until this point in your entire life is based on the decision you've made. That's why you're in this predicament. We are all self-made, but only the rich will admit it. Own your truth so no one can use your truth against you.
Brother, you got a pretty good mouthpiece, man. You weren't bullshitting about him, man. Good shit, man. You got a good mouthpiece, man. Anyways, brother.
In New York, we would say, "Hey, yo," but I'm gonna let it slide.
Oh, good, brother. How do people get a hold of you? How do people learn from you? What are your social medias? You know the drill.
Yeah. So Daraine Delevante, my guy said it's a little bit too long. Pause. It's a New York thing.
These lazy fucks might be too lazy to fucking pause and rewind.
So it's DARAINEDELEVANTE. Daraine Delevante on Instagram, on YouTube, on all social media platforms. Y'all that might be thinking and wanting to get the late payment, it's easy. The late payment deletion guide is only, I think it's like $97. Y'all, like it's less than this.
That's no good.
It's less than this.
That's no good.
Go delete some late payments.
It's got to be $98 because 8 is the number of money. So you want everything priced in 8.
So I'm going to add $1 to it.
There you go,
I'm going to make it.
Or add at least a penny.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. $1 or a penny.
All right. We'll do that.
All right,
so it's all they got to do is text the word late payment. Just send me a text message. Late payment. For less than this, that y'all use this to do God knows what.
You nasty
I was about to say less than the OnlyFans subscription. But I was like, nah, let's not go there. But so for less than that, right? You can get your late payments deleted. Just go learn the stuff. Bring it home and teach your family. Text the word late payment to 917-993-5238. So that's late payment to 917-993-5238. Go be great. You are the only person that's stopping your own success. And you know what your problem is? You're in your way too much. Get out of your own way. Get out of your head. The greatest investment you will ever make is an investment in yourself. Believe in you. You are your greatest asset. I can do all things. Remember that. You got this.
When it comes down to people, you're in the love and the life path. And that's why you can pull this off. That's why you can get in front of that microphone, be interesting, talk a little shit, and still have people be like, you know what? I want to see what that guy's talking about. I'm sure a lot of people will contact you. People know who the fuck I am. I run the biggest occult school in the fucking world, GG33 Academy. I gotta say, as our last month in our first studio comes to a close, this has been a memorable podcast, and it's very good to talk to people who actually understand what the big picture is.
Facts. It's not a lot of people.
Most people can't connect the dots between World War I, 1914 had to happen because, again, the Federal Reserve, the money was created in 1913, but the Titanic had to sink in 1912. Most people can't make that connection.
We didn't even touch that part. Oh my God.
Can't make that connection. So it's all about that. Believe me, brother, I've talked about that many times.
Oh my God.
This has been a GG33 production.
Let's go. Man, we didn't even get to the Titanic. I so wanted to dive